Hey guys, doing something a little different today. Every kind of Saturday and Sunday morning, I go out for a drive just to kind of hang out. Also a big car guy. Right now, just headed to South Beach, gonna grab a coffee, and then, maybe check out some watch boutiques. I haven't been to the Jaeger boutique or the Vacheron boutique in a long time. They're in the design district, and I wanted to kind of check out the new Master controls. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Rolex Hulk. And I was thinking today, what are the watches? I've been selling a lot of watches for my personal collection and acquiring some new pieces. And I was thinking, what are some watches I don't think people should miss? Watches I think everybody should kind of have in their collection at some point to kind of appreciate the widest gamut of our hobby. And as I sit here in traffic about to turn onto the Biscayne, I think a few of those choices are obvious. I think a few are not so obvious, but I do think once you've had all 5 of these watches, not at the same time, but at your collection at some point, you can kind of say you've experienced most facets of watch collecting. I think the first one, let's get the obvious one out of the way, is Rolex. Now, I have a Rolex. I'm not the biggest fan of Rolex, but I'm not going to deny they make great watches. And I also know that a lot of people, have a curiosity about Rolex. Even the Rolex haters probably wouldn't turn down the opportunity to have a Rolex in their collection. I think you should get this one out of the way. Add one to your collection, price permitting. That way you can know if it's something for you or if, it's something that you tried, you did your best, and you don't have to worry so much about. I mean, that's the thing. Rolex, everybody's curious. Everybody kind of has a reason to love it or hate it, but I think it is a very valid thing to experience. Next, I'm going to go with something on the other side of the scale, something very inexpensive, and that is Seiko. I think every watch collector should experience a Seiko. I love my SKX. I adore it. Experiment with the lower end of the price spectrum, but at the same time, a brand with a ton of history and watches that are absolutely interesting. Seiko definitely has a place in the collection, and I think, can you really be considered a watch collector if you haven't owned a Seiko? I mean, sure you can, but definitely missing out. Then, I think we would go with an Omega Speedmaster. Now, I've owned an Omega Speedmaster. It's no longer in my collection. I sold it about a year ago, but I think that is the quintessential chronograph. I mean, manual wind chronos in this kind of hobby are almost mythical. Patek 5170, Lange Datograph. Well, you know what? The Omega Speedmaster gives you that manual wind architecture for a significantly lower price, around $4,000. A ton of history. I mean, first watch worn on the moon, and it seems that, like the Submariner, it's probably one of the most iconic watches ever made. A great way to experience a watch with history, with a manual wind architecture, but at the same time, that won't break the bank. I think every collector has thought of a Speedy at some point, and it could add a lot to your collection. Now I'm going to get a little bit more advanced. And I'm aware not everybody has these unlimited budgets, but I think if you can get an independent watch brand, doesn't necessarily have to be an FP Journe, but if you can get something like a Ming or a Moser, a Sarpaneva, opening it up a little bit, there we go, a Sarpaneva, something that you can enjoy that won't break the bank, but at the same time you can experience these independent watchmaking. It's a whole different ballgame. It's the complete opposite of Rolex, and I think it offers a ton. That is the direction my watch collection is going. Ooh, I'm having a lot of fun right now. That is the direction my watch collection is going. And it's what I find most interesting. And fifth, but certainly not least, a brand that I think gets nowhere near enough love, and a brand that I haven't actually owned, so theoretically, I haven't checked this list off for myself either, is Jaeger. Now, yes, I did own a Reverso given to me by my father, but it's very small. I never properly wore it. Ooh, a little brake squeal there. Just got new brake pads, haven't broken them in yet. That squeal should go away. But Jaeger, great way to get some complicated watches for non-hot horology prices. I mean, the watchmaker's watchmaker. I'm not going to go into the history of Jaeger, but the Holy Trinity is all use their movements. They're 100% in-house, and they, while owned by Richemont, have kind of an independent spirit, and just a great way to get high horology for non-high horology prices. I'm definitely adding a Jaeger to my collection. I'm not entirely sure what that is yet, but I'm going to go to the boutique today to check some out. I'm not going to buy one today, but I'm definitely going to go check a few out, whether it's a Reverso or a Master Control. I'm not sure. I'd take you guys with me, but they definitely won't let me film in the boutique. But anyway, guys, those are 5 pieces I think every watch collector should experience in their collection: Rolex, Seiko, Omega Speedmaster, an independent watch brand, and JLC. Now, this is just kind of my opinion. Obviously, you don't have to have all of these in your collection in tandem, but I do think if you've owned each one of these categories, you can easily say you've experienced most of what the hobby has to offer. Of course, there's more details and stuff like that, but I think it's a great way to kind of broaden your horizons and experience in watch collecting. Anyway, guys, let me know if you like these kind of driving style videos. If you guys like them, I'll keep doing it, maybe once a week. I know it's not particularly sunny or beautiful today in Miami, but every Friday and Saturday I go for decently long drives. And if you guys want me to take you with me, let me know. I'll happily do it. Or if you think it's boring and it's hard for you to hear me and all that, well, I won't be offended either. Just trying something out. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'm gonna turn off this GoPro and enjoy my drive. Maybe be able to open her up just a little bit. Oh yeah, still a little too much traffic here. But guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.